Hi, this is Andy Nathan from andynathan.net, coming to here talk to you about onlywire.com. I know we talk a lot about building relationships online through social media. One of the other things that we've been talking about a little bit over the past is how to get your content out there. And I want to talk to you about one of the sources that I use to get my content out there and make sure it's more effectively read and more people get to see what they're talking about. It's called onlywire.com. Basically what this does is it's a content syndicator. What it'll do is it'll send it out to about 30 to 40 different social networks, and when those networks get it, whoever's on your social network there and other people who are on those networks can actually see what you wrote about. So it's a great place just to get the word out about what you're doing. So let's take a look in a little bit more detail. First of all, when you sign up, you create an account, you do the basic information like you see here in step 1. Step 2, you could actually there's a few options. One, you could do free, where it's an ad sponsored. And the great thing about this is they actually have like a bookmark and save. You ever go on a website, you see bookmark this and save it so people could see it. So like, for example, if I go on your website, I could then bookmark it on Facebook that I saw your site and I thought it was worthy of bookmarking it, and I shared it with my network. That's basically what that is. So you put this bookmark and save on one of your websites, and they do verify to make sure it's on the website, and you could actually get it for free. I prefer that version just because of the fact that it actually helps out my business at the same time with the bookmark and save. However, if you want to pay for it and you don't want to have that bookmark and save, it's $2.99 a month or $25 a year, and you could just pay right away and do it that way. I obviously do the promotion because I think there's nothing wrong with giving someone else a little credit as long as I get some promotion value out of it as well. Then you go through the terms and conditions, you sign up, they'll send you a verification email, and this is where the fun begins. So you get back on the website, you log in. One, there's a few things that you need to do. One, obviously you have to get that bookmark and save. You have to put it on your computer. And if you don't, talk to your graphic artist or your web developer about making sure that's done correctly. Two, you want to make sure that you actually download the submitter. What they actually have here is, and I'm clicking on it here because I've already had this downloaded, you download this program that goes onto your computer. It's called the OnlyWire Submitter. You can see it there in step 1. And what's going to happen is you're going to start whenever you want to submit your content to these different social networks, either if it's status, for example, like you do like a tweet or something like that, you want to have it go out to a number of different networks, you go post a status, or if you wrote a blog article, you did a video, you have a picture you want to share on Flickr, whatever the case is, whatever information or content you want to share, you go post a bookmark. And what happens is it'll then pop up a different site, and I'll show that to you guys in a few seconds. And it says, you can see here where it says, then you submit the content using your submitter. And basically what that means is you're going to actually log into all these different social networks. And there's, like I said, there's about 30 of them here. Some of these, just as a disclosure, I have had challenges with. For example, AOL Livestream somehow never works for me. And Kinda T, I think, is one of the other ones that never works. But for the most part I have. Oh, Dig didn't work either. But we're going to talk more about other ways that you can actually do this on other networks. There's another place called socialmarker.com that we'll talk a little bit more tomorrow. But let's focus on this for today. With all these sites, you go on there, you log in, you create a user and password. And the first time you do this, it will be a little bit more intensive because you have to create username and passwords for all these different sites. And you can see it's everything from Twitter, Tumblr, Yahoo Bookmarks, StumbleUpon, to places like Spurl, Scribd, Simpy, smaller networks that you probably might not have heard of. And you have Facebook there as well, and MySpace and LinkedIn. You sign on to all these. You give your user and your password information. And I know it seems a little daunting to give all this information all at once. However, this does work. You then set it all up. You go save my logins. And then you also do yes, please send a test post to all new accounts just to make sure it works. Once you do that, you should be all set. So when I can then go back to the OnlyWire submitter, hope I hit the right button there. There we go. Post a bookmark. And this will only do the OnlyWire because it actually goes from the site that you were on. So I was on OnlyWire. So what's going to happen is you'll now see the form that they actually put up there. So for example, I now want to bookmark this. I now want to bookmark, like for example, this video that we're shooting right now, onlywire.com video. And I type in the URL for it. Then I put some tags. Then I put a short description here and on the bottom and put it into a category. And then I just bookmark it. And then you're done. It's that simple. So, and you get it to all these different social networks. And this is the great part about this. It goes out to all these different places. And basically, once you have it all set up, it takes about 2 minutes. That's how simple it is. So I definitely recommend you taking a look at onlywire.com for your content aggregation, because it'll get your content out there a lot faster than you could do by yourself. This is Andy Nathan from andynathan.net.